Welcome everyone to another episode of the Media Mania Podcast. I'm your host, as always, the Media Maverick Mike Woden. To my right is my co-host, John Denuzzo, and our very special guest, the ultraviolet siren, Cake Face Karlee. Karlee, welcome to the show.
Hi. How you guys doing today?
I'm doing awesome.
Doing good.
Awesome,
Thank you for
awesome.
taking the time to sit down with us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on.
Of course. And if y'all don't know who Karlee is, she is the host of X Brand Wrestling Unleashed. And I gotta say, and the short time I've gotten to see your content, I'm jealous of some of the people you've gotten to sit down with, and your content is awesome. It's awesome content.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're very welcome. So, my first question right out of the gate: how did you come to work with X Brand? Like, how did that relationship come to fruition?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, it kind of just happened out of random. So I've been doing like little like hype videos or whatever just for random promotions for a while. When I more so geared towards like just independent stuff, I was mainly like DCW, stuff like that. And a friend of mine had told me about X Brand and to check them out on IWTV. So I was like, okay, hell yeah, more deathmatch stuff, of course. So I checked them out. I saw their Ultraviolent House Party, their first one they did. And it was off the chain. Like they had some really cool names and just great moments. And I just for the hell of it, I decided to hit up Justin, shout out Justin Valencia, on the X Brand page on Instagram. And I just said, hey, I love your stuff. And yeah, he responded with, hey, I would love for you to do a hype video for us one time. And the rest kind of was history from there. Kind of had a moment in time, actually about a year ago, where kind of had some crazy stuff go down. But after finally like getting, settled and everything was cool, X Brand reached back out to me and they decided to kind of take my role even further and start with a podcast and interviewing people. And yeah, I've just been interviewing people ever since. I have 29 episodes underneath me.
So, I've gotten to see some of your content, and you do these when you're traveling to these shows. What is that experience like when you're traveling to these shows?
So, I've been able to travel to a couple of the X Brand shows. Unfortunately, they're very, East Coast. So a lot of the stuff I've been going to is more like Texas based. And Louisiana doesn't really have a lot of deathmatch stuff. None, really. But traveling and going to the shows for X Brand has been really fun. And just been a really cool learning experience of just seeing stuff behind the scenes and, being able to do like the little like rapid fire interviews I was able to do at the one show, like just a lot of amazing experiences that I've been able to have because of it.
Okay. So when you first got into watching deathmatch wrestling, like, is it different watching it on like TV or on like YouTube than it is like seeing it in person? Like, what was your first experience like when you first saw deathmatch live in person?
Well, actually, your co-host was actually there at my first deathmatch shows that I was able to go to. It was a full weekend of crazy stuff. Loco Wrestling and X Brand did a collaboration. Night one was Vulgar Display of Loco, and the second day was Fear and Loathing in Houston. It was, oh wow, like it is completely different seeing it in person. It's just the vibe of seeing everyone there and just you're all there for the same reason of just seeing all this chaos and beauty within it transpire in front of you, and just even feeling the little bits of like glass tube, like light tube debris and just little bits of everything. It's just such a incredible experience, and it was honestly like hooked. I mean, as much as I loved deathmatch wrestling before my first show, it was just, oh my God, hooked completely.
Okay. So, has there ever been a match you've gone to where it's like you've seen what is the craziest moment you've seen with a weapon at a deathmatch that made you think maybe this is a little too far?
Like seeing in person or in like
in person or online, whichever one you like
okay.
found was more gnarly.
Well, okay. So starting with online or just like, watching,
Mhm.
God, I mean, even way back, this was like in 1992 of this happened, like the first ever like fire death match that they did in Japan.
Mhm.
That was one of those moments. And even Sabu, there's an interview with him even admitting this, like it was even crazy for him. And Atsushi Onita was like, fuck it, let's try and do it. And if you go back and watch it online, I mean, that match didn't even last 5 minutes with pretty much the entire building being up in smoke. Absolutely insane stuff. But in person, where okay, like maybe this is a little too much. Honestly, were maybe like they were just more so accidents than like weapons that took it too far. Two different shows now. I've seen people take some pretty gnarly cuts. Again, John was there for both of those two. One being Lane Bloody. He had a match with Mickey Vargas in March. It was a impromptu thing because Lane was supposed to fight Dr. Redacted. He's finally getting his shot tonight, I believe, at Blood Honey 10. But yeah, he ended up fighting Mickey Vargas, and there was just a accidental, shit happens, and
Mhm.
he had a cannonball where he went through a pane of glass, and it completely spliced part of his lower back, and he almost died. Like that was just like, ooh, my God, like let's maybe like be careful with like the panes of glass, or even like Necro Butcher, not to literally last weekend, had a really nasty cut after, what was that, John? Was it bottle? Was it a broken bottle that
Yeah,
he
it
took
was a
on his
glass
arm?
bottle.
That's right.
Yeah, Mickey
And
broke it
it was
over his
just,
head, and it was a follow through.
yeah. And
Me
yeah,
and John
because
were
of that
just talking
follow
about
through and
this.
everything, shit happens. And he had a really nasty cut. And I think the main thing was of like, okay, this is going a little too far, was because he didn't want anyone to patch him up. He just wanted to keep going with the patch, which, more power to. I mean, it's Necro Butcher. You're not going to tell him no, but like, it was just like, okay, oh my God, you need to be bandaged up right now.
Me and John were just talking about this. I'm gonna pull back the curtain a little bit with this. We were just talking about this right before we got on camera. We were talking about the upcoming Dark Side of the Ring episode with Nico Butcher and Samoa Joe. I
Yeah,
can't wait to see that story be told on TV. I can't wait to watch it.
me
And
too.
I guess I'm about to promote. I guess I've brought it up. If you want to watch this episode, I don't want to get. This is not self promotion. I'm not getting paid to promote this, folks. But if you want to watch Dark Side of the Ring, go watch it on Vice TV.
Hell yeah.
So, who's
It's
been one of
definitely
your
one of the
favorite
better shows out
people?
there.
Oh, yeah, definitely is.
I was
So,
going to say it's
who
definitely
is?
one of the better shows as far as the business goes.
Yeah.
So, in the time you've been doing your content and by yourself and with X Brand, who has been one of your favorite people you've gotten to actually sit down and interview with?
Ooh. Gosh, I have a few. So I would say for like my short rapid fire interview, like that I was able to do like in Texas, I have to say one of my favorites with that was having to interview Akira. We both have a mutual love of the band Rush, and to just without any prompt or whatever of like the guy who was like filming it caught us singing Closer to the Heart together before the actual interview started. Oh my God, I will remember that forever. Anthrax and X Brand's World Champion is another one I love interviewing. We have great banter between one another. I've done a long form with him, short form. I've done a debate with him. We're planning on doing another one before Wicked 13 in September. Yeah, Anthrax is a great one. Honestly, sitting down with Lane Bloody was fantastic. Just hearing all of like the history and everything that this man's done for like Deep South ultra violence was phenomenal to hear.
Okay. I will say I've gotten to sit down with very few people in the deathmatch scene, but of my favorite interviews I've done so far, I have to go with Crazy Dave. I have to go with Crazy
Oh
Dave.
man, I loved Crazy Dave. I interviewed him too. He was phenomenal. He's such a character.
I have his song stuck in my head. If you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough. Like,
Yes.
oh God, Dave.
Oh,
He was one of we planned the episode we did, it was only supposed to be 45 minutes and we went for almost 2 hours. I'm like, because it was like he just had all these stories and it was like one good story. I'm like, I could not just hear the end.
oh yeah, he is wild. I love Crazy Dave. Such a good guy.
So what are some of your goals with X Brand Wrestling Unleashed? Like, what are some of your like? Where do you see it going from where it is now to like maybe 5 years down the line?
Ooh. What I would love to see with X Brand, in general, I would love to see them get a little more love than what they have right now. I think there is a genuine good amount of talent that does exist within X Brand, and people love to shit on them, and the reasons why, Lord knows, but I just feel like if people actually took the time to actually watch the talent, look at the world champion, look at some of the talent that's on there, and you'll see why I hype them up the way I do. Future wise, I would love to see them get more. I would love to see them have a live thing on IWTV. I think that'd be amazing. I'd love to see Wicked 13 live on IWTV. Even their other big one that they do, Are You Saved? I would love to see that in IWTV. Yeah, just getting more recognition, because I definitely feel like, they do deserve it. That would be my goals for them. For me personally, within X Brand, and of course like outside, because they already have like an announcer and everything, I would love to start announcing. I would love to even get into commentary, just kind of using my voice within the deathmatch scene. I want to interview as many people as I can and share their stories and just showcase to people why I think, deathmatch is important, and, deathmatch is cool, and should, take the time to actually like hear the stories of some of these people. So I think that would be my goals personally, and then X Brand goals I would like to see happen.
Okay. So, are there any guests that you have not interviewed yet that that are on your like bucket list of interviews? And if so, who are like in your top 5 interviews that you have not gotten to yet?
Okay. First and foremost, one interview I want to have, and I don't know why, it's like I'm just saving for her. It's just, she's my, I guess, like in Hot Tub Time Machine, the Great White Buffalo of like, just like the end all be all of like everything amazing within deathmatch. Of course, Mickey. I love her so much, and I'm waiting to make sure I'm ready and that I don't like openly weep while I'm asking her questions. I have such an immense love and respect for her. Nick Gage would be incredible. He has actually said, I replied to something on his stories one time, and he had actually messaged back and said, love what you're doing, keep it up. Like, and I wasn't expecting that. I mean, like Nick Gage, he barely follows anybody, let alone like responding to people. So like, that was cool. I would love to interview him. Oh God, like I would love to do a long form interview with Akira, even though he really isn't like deathmatch really anymore. Same as like, the dudes from Vandal 48. I loved to like pick Atticus Koger's brain, Otis's brain. I mean, phenomenal. I mean, honestly, anybody and everybody. I would love anybody from PWO, guys from the UK, Canadian talent, like everybody, anybody and everybody.
Okay. I will say, like, you brought up Mickey, right? That was the first name you brought up. I will. This is my show, so I'm gonna say this how I want. Mickey is one of the baddest. She's the baddest bitch on the planet. Like, I would not piss her off on my best day.
Oh, facts.
She would rip me from limb to fucking limb.
Oh yeah,
I would apologize. I would apologize for whatever I did.
Right. Even if I didn't do anything wrong, like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're having a bad day.
And the PWO, I love all of them. I love Sue. I love Sarah. Like, what they're doing together, like, by themselves, they're amazing. But coming together, they're unstoppable. They're an unstoppable force.
Absolutely. I love seeing a strong women's faction. Like, I think that's really dope. It's been a while since I've seen something like that. Like, even just like within wrestling in general. So, like how you said, like, to see what they're doing and just being unstoppable throughout the independent and deathmatch scene is really, really cool to see.
And with Sue, I feel so bad. I stopped following where she was, like, when she stopped appearing in TNA. I kind of, like, lost track of her for a while. Like, and my thing was, what happened to her? She was so unique for TNA, for a female wrestler. Like, her whole Undead Brides thing, I loved it. I loved everything. Then where is she? Like, I couldn't find anything of her after a while. Like, then she started popping back up in my feeds this last 2 years. I'm like, she's doing deathmatch, and I'm like, what? That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's crazy that officially, like, her first official true death match was with Marty 2 Fly at No Ring No Masters 5, that Honey Pack 4 Loco death match, which, I mean, phenomenal. I mean, that weed whacker spot, seeing that, just Marty's skin hanging off. Whoa. To answer to the question you were asking earlier about that was too much, that was almost, I was like, whoa, okay. All right. Oh.
So, what do you think about? So, being a fan of deathmatch, I'm sure you saw it when Matt Cardona and some of these other ex-WWE people, they tried their hand at deathmatch. Now, I would tip my hat to Matt Cardona all day long. I had no faith in him having anything to do with deathmatch, but he went out there with Nick fucking Gage, and they just tore it up.
Right.
And I remember watching Matt's podcast after he did that match, and he was saying he was still picking glass out of himself weeks later. I'm like, dude, you proved every hater wrong. I'm like, I would never, like, and then he went on to defend the GCW title. I forget which show it was at, but he dressed up as Vince McMahon in the do-rag outfit, and he did an episode on the podcast about it. I left a comment I didn't mean it in a bad way, in a hateful way, but I said, I guess Vince McMahon lives in your head rent free because he was dressed like Vince. And my badge of honor, I will wear it like a badge of honor to my dying day. Matt responded himself, said, "Don't be a mark." And I was like, okay,
That's great.
I'll take that all day long. So I guess my question, what do you think about some of these ex-WWE guys and girls, like, going and trying deathmatch after they get out of WWE? Because I'm sure you saw Shotzi did it. Matt, as I said, Matt did it. What did you think about it at first?
I think it's all about how it's done, right? I think because with some people, it looks like, how do I put this? It's almost like they'll flirt with the idea of, like, but it's like, no. Like, I don't like this shit. I'll try it, but I don't know. Some people, it kind of comes off. I don't know if this sounds crass or not, but it comes off of, like, how some people will hit on a fat chick in their DMs, but won't talk to them in person. Some people will treat deathmatch the same kind of way. And sometimes with certain WWE stars, it's like it kind of comes off that way. But some people, they look fantastic doing the deathmatch thing. Like, even like Priscilla Kelly, when she did a couple of things, she looked great. I like, Shotzi, I think she did a great job. But like I said, some people, it just looks too hokey. Like, it's like, oh, look, I'm trying to do a death match, you guys. Look. I don't know. Sometimes it comes off hokey, but other times it comes off very well done.
Okay. So I would feel remiss if I didn't ask this question. Us living in the technology age, and as you being a wrestling content creator, me doing a podcast that covers quite a bit of wrestling. Do you think social media plays a bigger role, not even just in content creation, but in professional wrestling in general, like how they market it now?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's some people who don't really, they don't, not that they don't like that, but it's just like, well, I feel like, like I'm doing enough to put myself out there. I'm putting my, doing whatever. But there's people who even like are very new to doing this, who are really good at marketing themselves, are good at putting themselves out there, using the social medias to push themselves, and are making it very far because of that, plus their talent. So yeah, absolutely. I think, social media is great. And, just being able to promote these certain shows, and just being able to get it out there, because, a lot of times back in the day, it's either like word of mouth or just like stapling flyers to like, places nearby, so I think it's really cool that it's a double-edged sword, because of course there's some negative stuff with social media, but there is good with it. Yeah.
I hate to give this man I not in a bad way, but I don't want to give this man due, because oh my god, he's I love everything he's done, but I have to bring him up because he has used social media to his advantage, and that is he even calls himself the most marketable Richard Holiday. I don't want to give him any credit, but damn it, that man, he uses social media as his weapon. Now he knows everything he does on social media will get thousands of views, thousands of likes, and he just keeps doing it. Same goes. I love him to death. Big Trouble Ben Bishop, and one of my other favorites. He's big on everyone's going to feel invincible. Tommy Invincible. I will give Tommy his love.
Tommy Invincible. Hell yeah.
I guess like they have used social media, and they've made themselves huge with it. So it does play a big role.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, with both professional and personal, do you ever see yourself having like merch with like your face on it with X Brand, or just by yourself making your own merch to take with you to shows to like try and sell, or just like give to talent that you want to like just give them your merch to have?
I think eventually that'd be pretty dope. I think I'm still like, I don't know, maybe like eventually, but I don't know. I still feel like I'm like, I'm really no one, like who would really give a shit if I put out like a sticker or something. But I think eventually, I think that would be really cool for sure.
Okay. So are there any big goals for X Brand and you for the rest of 2026? Like, are there any big things you're looking forward to going to, or just watching like on like wherever you watch your wrestling at? Is there anything big that you're looking forward to, or with X Brand, like any big upcoming interviews for the rest of the year?
Definitely have some cool interviews coming up. Some repeats, but some of new faces that I haven't interviewed before. Some from the UK, which I'm really, really excited about. As far as X Brand, as far as right now, we have just Wicked 13 coming up. Oh, and their collaboration with She's Hardcore, the Drop Dead Gorgeous event, which will be the same day, right before Wicked 13. And that'll be in Houston, Texas. I'm very, very excited about that. We have a lot of good names for Drop Dead Gorgeous. Pretty much all of PWO is going to be in Drop Dead Gorgeous. I mean, Abaddon. We're getting Santic Chiva was just announced for it. I mean, there's a lot of cool names for Drop Dead Gorgeous. And of course, Wicked 13. The world champion Anthrax has already been announced for it. Everyone's favorite Aunt Mickey Knuckles, Kamikaze, who has been pretty much like the psychopath stuntman, like on POR, and he just had a great match with Malcolm Monroe III on Horror Slam. Let's see who else is part of it. Mickey Vargas, Marty Two Fly. I might be forgetting someone, but I do know some other names that haven't been mentioned yet, so I don't want to accidentally. But yeah, I'm really excited for Wicked 13. And I hope there's some other shows after that. But right now, we're just focused on Wicked 13.
You brought her up a second ago, and Abaddon the Monster. I love her. I don't think I can go a day without seeing my feeds without her doing her outfit of the dead. Like,
Yes.
and it's always like she kills it. Like I think each one's gonna be the best, but if she comes out with another one, it's even better than the last. So I love. I even like. It sucks not seeing her on TV as much anymore, but just whenever I do see her somewhere, it's always cool to see her show up.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm so excited to see her at Drop Dead Gorgeous. I cannot wait.
So, for fans that might not know who the ultraviolet siren is, how can they just like where can they go see more of Karlee of Cake Face? Like, where can they find? I know me personally. I know y'all have YouTube, Instagram. Where else can they find not only you but X Brand as well? Like, where all can they find y'all?
Yeah. So for myself personally, I am on TikTok under cakeface_Karlee. Instagram, like you said, under cakeface_Karlee 2.0. I have my own YouTube channel, which is just Cakeface Karlee. I'll be posting more on that soon. Definitely working on that. As far as X Brand, they're on Facebook, on Instagram. They're under, I think it's XBW Legend on TikTok. And of course, they have their own YouTube channel, X Brand Wrestling. And that's, of course, where you can find my podcast where I interview independent deathmatch wrestlers, X Brand Unleashed.
Okay. So, my last question for you, like the way indie wrestling is, like you have all these all these independent, whether they're a super indie or just your regular indie show, like what do you think about them all like being on these like you have all these different networks that they have their stuff on, even like AEW is starting to have their own little thing where it's called My AEW, where you can find so many independent shows in one place without having to go search here, there, and like you don't have to have 1,000 other things to go watch it on. What do you think about that? Having to like just one or two places you can go just watch all your wrestling at once.
I think it's great. I think it's wonderful. Like that's honestly why I love places like Triller and especially IWTV, where literally you get independent wrestling TV and you get literally anything from like your standard, wrestling. You get shows like every Thursday, like when Wrestling Open, where it's like you never know who's going to be there. You can get your standard wrestling to your death match, lucha libre. There's a lot of great shit, and it's cool that AEW is going to be doing, like My AEW and stuff like that. I think it's very, very cool. Very great, big win for independent wrestling for sure.
I will say before AEW did the My AEW thing, I don't know if you've ever watched it. Evil Uno has this promotion. It's called Mystery Wrestling.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is that got me, but I every chance I go, I try to see, okay, what are they doing now? Like they do these awesome shows they put on, and it's like, it's awesome to see Evil Uno being able to do his own thing, even when he's not on AEW TV. So it's awesome to have all these places to go watch that. You get to discover all these new indies that you might not have heard of yet. So I love it.
Yeah.
Now,
I think AEW in general was such a big eye opener for me, like when they first started of independent wrestling, because I was so, I don't know if it was like sheltered of just being familiar with, WWE and TNA. And it wasn't until really like AEW came and it's like, oh, wow, there's a lot of independent promotions that I could really just sink my teeth into. And so I really give AEW, props for that, for, really hyping up the independent scene while having their own brand.
Well, you mentioned them a second ago, Triller TV. What do you think about their ongoing situation? I don't know if you've seen about it, where they've been having some issues with some people, like they're not going to be showing AEW anymore, or is that? I might be mistaken. I thought it was either them or Fight TV that are pulling their.
Yeah, I heard something about that. Like, I mean, it's sad. If there's issues and whatever, I think just in general with people having issues, I hope everyone can just get along and figure it out. Just be able to have people watch independent wrestling in any capacity that they can, because
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just worth it.
I always say this when indie wrestling's brought up. I say if you have the chance, go support your local indie show, because like you never know, like they could be on your TV one day in WWE. Because like I've seen guys I'm originally from Tennessee, so I've seen guys from Nashville show up on AEW TV and in TNA. I'm like, wait, I know you. I know you.
Yeah,
So like go support your
absolutely.
local indies. And sometimes your indie shows can blow what you see on TV out of the water.
Oh, 100%. That's actually like why I have the one little segment I started doing, in June and July so far, of it's just a way to like kind of hype up everything that's going on for that month, of like whatever's going on within the indies, like deathmatch scene, so that if people are like, oh shit, I'm going to be in this area, cool, they can check it out. Or like, oh great, I'm not going to be there, but it will be on IWTV, bet I'm going to check that out, just to build up that community.
Like I was telling John this right before we got on the camera, like right when we there's Pro Wrestling Revolver tonight. I didn't know about it until the very last minute, but they're in Dayton, Ohio tonight. That's like not even that far of a drive from me. Like, damn, I wish I would have known that PWR was going to be right in my backyard. I would have gone, and I was telling, as I was telling John, I did not know Sami Callihan was the guy behind PWR. I did not know that. I'm like,
yeah.
But there's, because I don't go digging for information like that about show owners, but I didn't know this about Sami, who he was with Jessica Havoc. I didn't know he was with. I didn't know they were.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about them. So because I went to a PWR show. I'm like, wait, Sami? Because I saw them. I didn't know they were a thing. I did not know that. And Havoc, because Havoc was awesome. Again, she was just like Sue, and she was unique for TNA at that time when she was there. She was different.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not only did she have that slightly alternative, kind of post-apocalyptic type of aesthetic, but she was also a bigger girl. And that's holy shit, unheard of in the wrestling scene at that time. So, I mean, for me, it was oh my God, I actually get to see someone of, where it's okay, cool. Seeing someone that's curvy on the screen that is kicking ass. It's great.
Yeah, because the last time you saw someone like that was years ago when TNA was first getting started, was Awesome Kong.
Yep.
And I saw her the other day on Dark Side of the Ring, and this was very, I was not expecting this. I had never heard her talk. I'm it's I didn't know why she never talked on screen. When she was in TNA, I never once saw her talk. I'm she always had someone talking for her. I'm she actually has a beautiful voice. Why does she not talk more?
Right?
She's this big, bad, intimidating woman. But she's I got this voice of gold. This is no. I want. Where's Awesome Kong? I don't want you. I want Awesome Kong.
This is not who I signed up for.
No. So, if you had to leave our listeners with everything, what would the ultra-violent Siren leave the Media Mania Podcast listeners with?
I would say this. If you haven't watched, a death match, or, if you're someone out there that's, it's trash, it's bullshit, it's just a bunch of, blah, blah, blah. I would really encourage you to take the time and even just watch one match. And I'm not saying just someone's, random, 18th birthday fucking, backyard thing. I mean, watch a death match, and you're going to see everything that I have been trying to relay to people. There is storytelling within death match. It is a true performance art. The people that do this put their literal blood, sweat, and tears into this. And even if it ends up something, you watch it and you end up not liking it, I want you to go away from it at least being you know what? This isn't my cup of tea, nor my shot of whiskey. But you know what? I can respect what these men and women do. I think that's my main thing of why I do what I do and why I want people to share their stories and any misconceptions of, oh, all of them are untrained, all of them, are dangerous and whatever. I mean, there's some of the most careful, like calculated people that I know. And so, yeah, I think that would be what I'd leave everybody on.
I will say I like that last thing. Like one of those things they said, it's not my cup of tea, not my shot of whiskey. I like because usually when say it's just not my cup of tea, but you added a twist to it. It's not my shot of whiskey either. I like that. I will say I like that. So it's a very good. I love your closing. I love it. I loved everything about it.
Thank you.
So I want to thank our awesome guest, the ultraviolet Siren Kake Karlee, for coming on, giving us some of her time. And I want to thank my awesome co-host John Denuzzo for coming on with me. I've loved this. I've getting to hear from Karlee about her experience with not just her personal and her professional experience with experience. I loved everything about it. And I think y'all will love this, ladies and gentlemen. So if y'all haven't, go give her a follow on all of her platforms. Check out some of her content. And like Karlee said, if you have not checked out a deathmatch, go check it out. At least try it once. Because I was the same way when I first discovered this. I'm like, what is this? What is this? But I love it. I want to see more. I want to be able to go to more. So if you haven't, go watch some deathmatch wrestling. And if you've ever watched the ending of an episode of the Media Mania Podcast, ladies and gentlemen, you know how this goes. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been your host, as always, the Media Maverick Mike Wood. This has been our awesome guest, the ultraviolet Siren Kake Karlee. And as always, make sure y'all catch us on the flip side.